Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? This is going to be a bit of a short video, mainly because my pizza's ready and it's going to get cold and I'm a little bit hungry. But I just wanted to get this quick video out of the way. Just wanted to talk about the monster, the Ed Gein story. That's what I'm trying to say. That I guess it did come out a couple of years ago, but I think it's just new to Netflix now, or at least I just discovered it. But I know a lot of people have also recently been talking about it on YouTube, or sorry, YouTube, on Facebook and Twitter and stuff. So I don't know if I'm just late to the party or if it's just finally just showing up to Netflix recently. But anyway, a couple things I will say. I did actually really like it. Um, and sorry about the weird lighting here. It's just it's getting into that shitty time of year where it's going to be daylight in the middle of the afternoon. So most of my videos I do after work. And right now, we're still in the process. We're moving stuff around. You can see a few things in the background are sort of where they're going to be. Um, in getting the place back in order after they did the renovations a few weeks ago. And yeah, it's taking time. We're procrastinating, but we also work opposite hours. Tracy's a bartender. I work in a warehouse, so we're literally opposite one another. So anytime we get to do stuff like this together, it's rare because we got our weekend stuff we like to do as well. anyway anyway, yes, so Netflix, sorry, Monster, the Ed Gein story. Yes, it is incredibly fictitious in terms of the actual story of Ed Gein. I know there's a lot of things that didn't happen, a lot of exaggerations. I did kind of briefly look it up. um, but all in all, I still thought it was a pretty good miniseries. I'm going to talk about it more like it's a horror movie than being factual, um, just because that's basically what is a horror miniseries rather than a horror movie. I will say that it was well casted, well acted. I think Laurie Metcalf should be getting some kind of reward or award for this if she hasn't already. Like I said, I believe it came out in 2022, but for some reason I thought it came out more recently. But when I was looking it up on Netflix, it said 2022, unless it's a different Ed Gein movie, but I don't think it is because the picture on Netflix also matched the one on IMDb. So I don't know what the deal is there. But anyway, yeah, Laurie Metcalf was awesome. She's a phenomenal actor. Anyway, of course, everybody knows her best from Roseanne, playing Jackie, Roseanne's sister. Um, I also remember her very well in Uncle Buck, and I believe she was in I know she did a lot of things, but just the things that come to mind real quick. I think she was in an episode of Frasier as a host of a children's series, and her and Frasier sort of had a little bit of intermingling and adult fun, and found themselves in sort of awkward, weird situations. But all in all, in this, I thought she was fantastic. She really played that villainous mom very well. Of course, I'm going to say his name. I had to write it down because couldn't remember his name off the top of my head. Charlie Hunman as is it Hunman or Human? I don't know. I'm just going to say Hunman. I'm going to pronounce it phonetically. Um, but him as Ed Gein, actually, I like I said, I don't know. I only know what I read about Ed Gein, so or yeah, so I know that it's not accurate. I get it. It's not a documentary. It's a biopic. So of course there's going to be artistic licensing going on and just a speed up the story and make it more interesting for television. Like, but how do you make that Ed Gein story more interesting? It's completely fucked up as it is. Um, but I think he did well. To my knowledge, I don't think that Ed Gein in real life talked like Ernie from Sesame Street. So I don't know, and I've never actually heard what his voice sounds like. Um, and what's her name? Susanna's son. She was really good as the borderline fictitious character that's in the show. From what I understand, she was a real person that may have had a fixation with death and knew Ed Gein, and they sort of met a couple times, but they didn't have a romantic relationship, or they were going to get married, or any of that stuff. At least that I'm aware of. When I read about it, that everything that people that know about Ed Gein, that are into true crime and stuff like that, were just saying that is completely exaggerated and that never happened. But in terms of how the story goes for this miniseries, I really liked her character. I really liked how her fixation with death and dark theme things like that, and then got that sort of got Ed Gein into it. So I guess according to the story, she turned him into a serial killer, grave robber, perverted creep, or whatever. But in this fictitious story, of course. But yeah, I did really like her character and the way they reacted together. A couple other things. Apparently, Molly Ringwald was in it, and I totally missed her being in it. I didn't see her in it, and even when I tried to look it up online, I couldn't really find anything. It just said on IMDb her character, and then I couldn't find. I was just trying to find pictures, and all I kept just getting pictures of Molly Ringwald, but which is a little disappointing because I actually really do like Molly Ringwald as an actor, especially super iconic in the '80s, as everybody knows. Especially in the what's his name, who was like did so many '80s movies, and for some reason his name just popped out of my head. I even have like a box set of his movies, and I don't know why it just it just disappeared from my head. But anyway, you know who I'm talking about. You can drop his name in the comments below, and just so I can face palm myself and go, oh, of course, yeah. Um, but yeah, I thought it was really good. The only thing I was a little bit confused about at the end, like the last episode or two, it's almost they were trying to make his character sympathetic. Like you were almost feeling bad. Spoiler alert: he does die at the end, but I did learn something about it though. I had to double check this because I always thought he was executed. I did not know that he actually lived into his 70s in an asylum, and I don't even know if he actually died. I'm guessing that that was screen accurate. He died of or accurate to life that he died in of cancer. It started with lung cancer and then became stage 4 and went through his body. I didn't actually look that up because I was more interested in talking about it as a series rather than comparing reality with fiction. But yeah, I did not know that he lived that long. I will say what I, as a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, big fan I am, when they're recreating scenes for that, they were very screen accurate. I was really, really impressed with the job they did. It was almost, I mean, you could tell it's different actors, but it was recreated so well. The shower scene from Psycho was recreated really good, and the Buffalo Bill scene was also really well done. But I was just because I'm such a Chainsaw Massacre fan, I was really, really impressed by how they reenacted those scenes. It was really, really well done indeed. But yeah, the last couple episodes, they're almost like trying to make his character sympathetic, like sad music, and you're almost like supposed to feel bad for the guy. But knowing what he did and who he was, I was like, I don't feel bad. It's not hitting me. I don't know if that was intended because they're playing this solemn kind of sad music, like oh poor Ed, he's dying, and then oh now it's over, and then and then these kids rob his grave, but desecrate his grave at the end or whatever. I'm supposed to feel bad for that. No, I'm not. It's he was a piece of crap in real life. He was a piece of shit. The real Ed Gein was a piece of shit. Sorry, but he was. But the series was good. I just didn't really understand that ending, why they kind of went in that direction. At least that's what I was getting from it, with all the sort of sad music. Oh, Ed, you're gonna die, and all the sad music, and he's kind of got teary eyed at the end. Not me, but his character did, and he's walking down the hall, and all the serial killers and things. Oh, you're an inspiration, and all this other stuff. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I mean, I liked it. It was entertaining. It was cool seeing the other actors playing different historical serial killers that were all pieces of shit for the most part. But seeing how they looked on screen as characters portraying them, they looked like Charlie Manson. The guy being him actually did look like Charles Manson. I was like, holy shit, he looks like the guy. Like, it's creepy. But yeah, do I recommend seeing it, watching it if you haven't already? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's 10 episodes long. Definitely worth the watch. It's not like some series you watch and you got a few slow ones and it's good. It's you got some that are more fast paced, obviously more action, more violence. The gore in it is really well done. The blood and guts, it's very realistic looking. I should have mentioned that earlier, but yeah, it does look good. Like it's as a horror piece. I didn't really find it scary like horror movie. More of a thriller with a lot of gore in certain parts. but it was really well done in that. The creepy atmosphere of the film, especially when he's in his home and there's no electricity. His mother has passed away. Laurie Metcalf's character passes away, and then you sort of got that psycho vibes, like he's talking to his mom who's isn't there and keeping her around and that sort of thing. It was in the house, much like Psycho did, like the story Psycho and the movie Psycho recreated for the Norman Bates character. It was really done. It did really create that eerie atmosphere, and you're kind of like, okay, what's going to happen next? I want to see what's going to happen next. It was like that. And the slower episodes, they weren't slow because they were story driven, and story driven enough that you're entertained and you just wanted to hear what they're saying in between, like the creepy shit. But yeah, do I recommend seeing it? Yes, I do. Absolutely, 100%. If you've seen it already and tell me how you felt, drop it in the comments. If you want to subscribe, help me get up to 1,000 subscribers. That would also be outstanding. I'd really appreciate. I'm out of breath. I really appreciate that. Like, comment, do all that fun stuff. But if you've seen it, yeah, let me know what you thought of it. Maybe you thought it was garbage. Maybe you loved it. And if you haven't seen it, sorry, spoilers. I should have said in the beginning, maybe. But aside from that, thank you for watching. If you watch it all the way, and yeah, until the next one, bye.